Yes, indeed. Yes. Ooh. Nothing like the sound of bombs going off on a Monday evening. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome to another episode of Melanin Mondays, episode 229. You would now rocking with the best. Brother Red Pillar, the building live and direct. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome. Welcome. Peace, love, and light. Yeah, what's happening? How's everybody doing today on this good Monday? It's nice outside. How is it in your hood, in your neck of woods and whatnot? Um, I know that you noticed that we probably haven't had any music and whatnot. Yeah, back to that music thing. I'm going through some things with YouTube based off of my monetization. So until we figure this thing out, we're gonna have to pause on all of the sound effects. Not this bombs and shit. Like we still got this.
To this day.
We still got the sound effects.
To this day.
But the intro music and all of that fly shit, that's all copyrighted. Man, they look, they monetize the channel, then they demonetize. I got 1,000 videos. They might have demonetized 800 of them because they said they all got pieces of a copyright thing in it. Shit is crazy. You know what I'm talking about? Shit is crazy. 910 space. Hit me up, King. Hit me up. Damn, so many people said that they was pulling up to that event, man. We got to come back out. We definitely got to do the Charlotte. Yo, I really, honestly, for the Charlotte family, man, I'm going to wear that one. I'm going to say I apologize. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of shit going on behind the scenes and it just wasn't given the right time to pull up and to pop out and whatnot. But we will be there very soon. We was giving niggas the winter to chill out. You know what I'm saying? But we will be there very soon. Go to the Mark 125th at Gmail and send me your information, and we're gonna tap in. Real talk. You know what I'm talking about? Curse words. Yeah. But it's not that I know exactly what it is. It's that intro that I went to Fiverr to get made many years ago, maybe like 6 years ago. It's the intro. It's the music from Facts. It's a few things. When I'm doing the Matrix thing and it got the music from the that's copyrighted. Like it's a lot of little trinkets that I try to get fly with so I could impress y'all and whatnot. And that's hitting me in the pocket. So we just starting to show raw. We just here like what's popping? No music. You know what I'm talking about? Beat on the desk or something. No music. I hope I wasn't cursing in the first 8 seconds, but no music. I'm feeling great. How you feeling today? All is well. I'm not in Ohio breathing that air. No disrespect to anybody in Ohio, but yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I went to see if y'all was turning up and whatnot. Y'all wasn't turning up. Y'all wasn't turning up. No, I own my music, but the beat from Facts is an industry beat. You know what I'm saying? I own my music, but the beat from Facts, that's industry. So they giving me an issue with that. They like, we could still play it on your channel. You just not finna get paid. We not cutting no checks. So, we're gonna have to things are gonna have to change up a bit because we need that check. I'm talking about that Checkington. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that Checkington. We want that over here. We don't run from no bags. But let's do the roll call. Let's see who's in the building. Shout out to everybody pulling up and whatnot. I see y'all pulling up. You feel me? I see y'all in a building. Ohio. Yeah, Ohio is a biohazard. And Byron in Ukraine. Man, talk about it. How do you feel about the white noise on Netflix and the Ohio explosion? Yeah. New Orleans was good with you. Mardi Gras. Austin in the building was popping. Mississippi was really good. How do I feel about the Ohio thing? I feel that that's a very tragic situation. We did a deep dive on that during the lecture called When in Rome, part 3 that some of y'all was at. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. The Virgin Islands, salute to the Virgin Islands, Chino Hills, NOLA, Fort Worth, Dayton, Ohio. Peace, Cleopatra. How you doing, Queen? All right. Stone Mountain in the building. Pennsylvania, Richmond. All right. Was really good. Richmond, Tennessee, Grand Rapids, Ohio, Palestine, East Palestine, Ohio. Yeah. You don't find that.
You don't find that suspicious?
You don't?
You don't find that suspicious?
Rome, Georgia.
You don't find that
Milwaukee.
suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
North Carolina. Arkansas in the building. Arkansas in the building. Another earthquake in Turkey. Astaghfirullah. Let me look that up. Gulfport, Mississippi, Phoenix, San Francisco, Atlanta, by way of Flatbush, Lake Cool. What it do, my good brother? Me and Lake Cool, we about to add put some value out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my AI-ish these days. So I'm tapping in with all of the intellects, all of the lights. You feel me? All of the lighthouses, you know, that are in our community and whatnot. You feel me? I'm reaching out to them. I'm shining a light on my intellectual brothers and sisters that are out there in the tech world. I think that y'all been overlooked. You feel me? I think that they've been sleeping on y'all. I think that they don't know the type of work that y'all out here doing and whatnot. So we about to introduce you to the world. You feel me? We gonna roll you out. We gonna let the world know, you know, who it is. Yeah, I mean, the song is on the page. The song is on my page. If you really like the song, you know, go and listen to it on the page. You know, spin it all day. Do what you gotta do. We not stressing that. You feel me? We not stressing that. When it hits Spotify, it's gonna do is, yeah, East Palestine is a sundown city. I heard 99%, 95% European and whatnot. So shout out to all of the residents of East Palestine. You know what I mean? Handle that. But that smoke, the plumes of smoke that rose up in the sky, it affected more people than just people in East Palestine. I heard that Pittsburgh was affected and some other places and whatnot. So, you know, yeah, that is a sundown town. I heard it's majority mayonnaise up in there. Kansas City, Nevada, Norfolk. Your president had the audacity to go to the Ukraine, right? But he didn't even visit East Palestine. He didn't even visit his own constituents in Ohio. I think that might be a Republican spot right there. He's like, I'm not going over there and risking, you know what I'm saying? Risking the clone getting some type of asthma or cancer. He went right to the Ukraine. Yeah, that cloud of smoke, that those fumes, those plumes and whatnot, they have to rest somewhere. So now the fish are dying, the wildlife is done. All right, shout out to LA. I can't wait to get back out there. I was talking to the God Body AA Rashid. We got some big things planned. I look forward to touching down on the West Coast to make some things happen and whatnot. Yeah, I got love on the West Coast, and I got love for the West Coast. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Cameron definitely used to get it in Ohio. I don't think he was in East Palestine though, but he was definitely getting it in Ohio. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So he just passed a health exam. He can't risk it. He's what hospital he went to? The Transylvania hospital? Because he's a walking zombie the way he looking these days. Yeah, they running them billions up in the Ukraine. You know what I'm talking about? That's crazy. What do I think about the UFOs being shot down? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's great. You don't find that
suspicious?
You feel me? I had said the other day that it's so. I said on my IG that I find it suspicious that you got this situation with the UFOs or what they call UAEs and whatnot, unidentified UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, right? They don't call it UFOs right now. Charlotte was popping. There was an explosion in Ohio today, right? There's been, man, they rolling out a lot of distractions. Let's just say it's one or two things. Either there's a war going on outside and we're not necessarily aware of it. There's like an attack taking place, right? From either external forces or internal forces, because once again, and this is not a shameless plug, but if y'all make it to these lectures, you get unadulterated, you get uncensored information really dropped on you, dumped on you. Me and Blue Pill, we did 8 hours on this lecture. Let me put a flyer up, right? And it's still available for your viewership if you choose to tap into it. You know what I'm talking about? It doesn't, it's whatever, I would definitely want you to get the information, because the information does no good for me and Blue. We don't want to be those dudes to be like, I told you so. We said it first. And I'm not living my life to be that nigga. You know what I'm saying? What we really want to do is we want to gauge, our student body and those amongst us that are truly studious. So we could begin to see, who amongst the student body we're going to start to elevate and to, fill some of these empty seats in the front row, if you know what I mean. We need more teachers and whatnot. Um, but yeah, we talked about it in the lecture. We dropped the information about it. You know what I'm talking about? And we were like, we broke it down. Blue Pill completely went in as Pope Pablo, and he gave you the biblical connections between what was going on in Turkey, which is very important, what's going on in the skies and whatnot, what's going on the ground with shit blowing up and trains derailing. And you know, one of the things that I see with the UFOs or the UIPs and the UAPs and whatnot, you got to remember, you got to remember, who we dealing with and whatnot. This is the Western man with the Western mind, right? This is the Western man with the Western mind. And with the Western mind, what I mean is the Western mind is engulfed in fragility. The Western mind adheres to white inferiority complexes. So it is not advantageous to them. It is not in their advantage, right, to publicly state that there's something out there that's more powerful than them. Their arrogance cannot allow them to admit that there are flying objects or flying or aerial phenomenons that is beyond their scope. That's something that they necessarily they don't want to admit that to the public, right? There's a level, there's a bevy of things that come after that admittance. And that's the loss of faith in the military, right? And when American public loses faith in the military, vicariously they lose faith in the economy, because the USD, the American dollar, the US dollar is held up, right, by the military might of America. And the minute that is exposed, or the minute somebody is popped up on the scene that appears to be bigger and badder than America, you're about to see hell break loose. You're about to see, because all of the things that are going on, it didn't necessarily affect the market, right? To a degree, to whereas the market was beginning to crash. But there's a lot of you know, there's some there, you know what I'm saying? Like the there's a lot of doom and gloom going on around. There's a lot of doom and gloom. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of speculation taking place. So by them admitting that they had to shoot down these quote unquote thank you in real time to Todd. I appreciate Todd. And I appreciate you, Lord Ja. You know what I mean? For them super chats. You know what I'm saying? Love is love. So they're playing the fool in their press conferences, and it's kind of like insulting my intelligence. I have to turn it off. I don't even want to participate in that type of circus that they got going on because it's really beyond propaganda at this point. They just really insulting the Americans' intelligence. Like they pulling a lot of legs. But I don't want to ramble on. Let me go ahead. I have a guest in the building, of course. Y'all already know what it is. I'm gonna open up the floor for my guest for tonight. This brother needs no introduction. You already know the other half of the twin pillars. You know what I'm talking about? None other than
You don't fight. To this day.
Blue Pillar in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Big though. What's happening?
Peace, my brother.
Peace, peace. What's good, my brother?
Peace to the family. Peace, love, and light. Uh,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
we are here. I came in on the tail end of this conversation that you were having. It sounded very interesting, very engaging. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
I don't want to necessarily cut your wisdom. You can finish what you were saying, and I'll definitely pick up and continue from there.
So what I was adding on right before I brought you in was something that you actually stated, and that was dealing with the UAPs and the fact that the quote unquote the US dollar is tied into the perception of military might when it comes to America and whatnot. So for them to admit that there are that the planet is being either visited or attacked or compromised, you know,
Yeah,
that is something that they can't outwardly admit. They have to dance around it, similar to the press conferences where they were doing a lot of dancing. It was a lot of tap dancing taking place, and they did not want to stand on
they was
anything.
doing the salsa.
They was doing the salsa.
Yeah, they was doing merengue. They was doing the salsa.
They was doing a jig. They was doing that TikTok shit. They was doing a little
Yeah,
Uzi bird. The shoulder shrug. I just want
and like you said, is almost counterproductive to anyone who's a thinking individual.
they dumbing them
It's
down.
almost
Yeah, with that BS.
it's on purpose. It might scramble your consciousness if you're attempting to keep up with it because none of it makes sense. They contradict themselves, and it's just a bad look.
Body.
Um, and it speaks to a breakdown in intelligence as intelligence goes through tears. You feel me? The necessary pecking order. Like think about, everybody's on a need to know basis. Biden went to the Ukraine overnight. You feel me? How many people you think knew about that?
That was a secret mission.
Right. So imagine how many secret missions are taking place. Again, I've been studying the work of Dr. Stephen Greer extensively as of lately, and he's been briefing presidents and top brass military intelligence since the Clinton era. And he said none of them were aware of the information that he brought to them that he was able to uncover about the deeper, like the deepest state. It's a state deeper than the deep state.
Right.
You feel me?
Yes.
And none of, yeah, since the 40s. You feel me?
Yes.
None of the top brass had military clearance in order to gain access to the information, you feel me, that this individual was presenting to them, suggesting that post World War II, post Hitler, that these people have had access to, a level of, if you will, extraterrestrial machinery, craft, artillery,
Right.
intelligence. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what on a totem pole, on a hierarchical totem pole of information that gets passed down, and like the game of telephone, if
Right.
you all the way on the other end of getting that information or that message, how far down the line you're gonna be, and those signals get scrambled, the people are at the bottom of the toilet when it comes to receiving information, especially information that they would deem to be credible, that they are literally making life decisions on. I watched White Noise the other day, and I also watched an extensive amount of press about the actual event in East Palestine. You know, and it hurts your heart, because these are people, this is still our country in terms of we all share a geographical connection to the landmass. You know what I'm saying? And things that happen in one place because of airstreams, Gulf streams, river water distribution, like all of that affects us. We can't sit by and sit back as observers and think that we're looking at something that's so far off. You know what I'm saying? This is not West Palestine. This is East Palestine,
East. Right.
right? You're not gonna have the ability to observe this from the comfort of your home, just like it's a news story and you can change it with your remote. The minute that them storms start pummeling through, like there was in the
Fact.
beginning of the year, you feel me? It's gonna be
Fact.
carrying that acidic, toxic fumes. Atlanta's just 11 hours from uh East Palestine. I don't know how careful or carefree people think they are from when traveling. I don't know if y'all think that it takes forever to get here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does.
Um, I was speaking to a friend in New York, and he was saying how his roommate was already getting sick from drinking tap water.
Mm.
You know what I
Yo,
mean? So
I gotta
there's
check
this.
the day that I went down. I gotta go back on the calendar because I went, you know what I mean? I mysteriously got sick, had a stomach virus for about 24 hours. I was in the bed. I couldn't even drink water. This
Yeah, that
might have
was
been
recent.
it.
That was
Yeah,
like
because
a week and a half ago.
that threw me off from a
Right.
trip that I was supposed to go on. I was thinking, yeah, I was gonna go to the Vegas. I was gonna go to the what is that? Super Bowl.
Yeah,
So Arizona. So I
Arizona.
gotta find out. Yeah, I gotta go back and find out when did I exactly get go under the weather because you know, that could have been something in the air, like you were saying. Because remember the
And
Palestine thing. Can you hear me?
yes.
Yeah, the thing with East Palestine, the train derailment, I'm gonna get the date of that because that happened and they did not talk about it for the first few days. Is when they had a
It was like February.
it was in early February, February the
It was
3rd to
like
be
February.
exact.
Okay, I
February
thought it
the
was like the
3rd.
ninth.
Yeah, it was the 3rd. They had a controlled explosion, and that's when it kind of went into the quote unquote, the mainstream media news cycle, and briefly, only because they locked a reporter up who was
Right.
basically he crossed his boundaries. And I remember reading the article and I was confused because I'm like, there's an East Palestine? I'm thinking that they're over
Yeah,
there. I'm thinking this is Israel on his tail, but it's over
yeah.
here.
So my heart, it rings and it registers for the Ohio residents. You know, we were just speaking about the importance of Ohio, not only to the quote unquote to them as it applies to Cincinnati being the city of Seven Hills and them having a stronghold there, but also the history and the mysteries of what we've been able to uncover about Ohio when we visited and went to Serpent Mound and got the books from Ross Hamilton. And when I read the books, he said the importance of Ohio in indigenous times is because it was one of the greenest places in this country because of its position, and the indigenous people used to perform ceremony there because I guess based on the way that it's situated on the ley lines, yeah, they were able to ionize the atmosphere, so they made it rain a lot over there, right?
Mm,
They were able to tap into the grid of Ohio, and it always stayed wet. They was always able to ionize the atmosphere and make it rain. So that's the breadbasket of the country, and that's also the home of the sea banks. You know what I'm saying?
water
There's a lot of
sources,
sea banks.
right?
Huh?
Water sources, the water sources, the Great Lakes and whatnot.
Oh, seed banks.
The seed
This
banks,
is where
yes,
they house the seeds.
right.
You feel me? It's the vegetation. It's a hub for vegetation. And yes, it also connects to a lot of tributaries. It runs off into major ocean, I mean to major the Gulf. It runs into the Mississippi, it runs into a lot of the waterways. Ohio, again, we only know about these states based on their sports teams, but we really need to find out the geographical significant, the key players.
Grid work, right.
And
Shout out to
yeah,
Roz
shout out to Ross Ben.
who does extensive work.
Yeah, and shout out to the KTL members, that are from Ohio.
Yes,
We have plans on even going to Serpent Mound for the spring. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I Googled it. It's 3 hours away from East Palestine. You know what I'm saying? I need to get the air and the water and everything tested before I go into those regions. So
right. Look at what
there's a
Lake Cool
lot
dropped.
going.
It was on 2323.
Oh, shout out to Lake Cool.
The
Yeah,
guard. Yeah.
that 2323. Yeah, man. I remember that day specifically. I remember looking at that day like, damn, I missed that. I wasn't even in it. Yeah, it's on. Is the zip code is 444 1. It's just all of it is fours. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ohio's 44th state to begin with. Um, but East Palestine is really registers real heavy, and yeah, it's just not cool. It's not cool enough to be complacent. I think that there's things that we need to do not as reactionaries, but we just have to be real with ourselves in terms of protecting the air that we breathe. I'm not advocating wearing masks, but we definitely need to get hold of those sensors that can tell what sort of chemicals are in the air. You know, we need to
Gotta read
avoid
it. Yeah, you gotta read it. You gotta read your environment. You know what I mean? The
your
tools are
environment.
available.
Then yeah, we need to advocate getting those tools. Um, I gotta go to Chicago this in a few days. I want to bring one with me when I go there.
Bruh.
I really want to know what's
Good.
going on at
It's
all. Hmm?
you in the region. That's the region right there. What are you talking about? You going in the rest of that's the region.
Yeah, yeah.
Ohio,
So
Detroit, Chicago, right?
yeah, all of that needs to be perfectly understood and dealt with. How the conversations need to be started. How do you clean the water once it's contaminated? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How do you protect the food once the food is going to be contaminated by the precipitation. You
Right.
know what I mean? So what are the things that need to be done on days such as today, which are new moons, this Piscean new moon, yeah, 44413,
Hold
um,
on. Hold on. The quadruple four, the
yeah,
quadrivium. Yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
quadrivium, boxes within boxes within boxes within boxes. So it's like,
Box on box.
how have we been boxed in? And there was another explosion today. You feel me? And the chemical plant, is just nonstop. You know what I mean? It's nonstop. And what is this doing ecologically to the quality of the air? You know what I'm saying? What is this doing to the Gulf streams? The matrix is glitching. I mean, there's so many things that we can speak about that deserve our observation and our conversation, but at the same time, what you focus on and put your energy on, it tends to grow that thing more. So on a day such as today, which is a new moon in Pisces, Pisces being, imagination, being spirituality, being a deep, deep dream state, it's like, all right, if we had the opportunity to dream, if we had the opportunity to imagine, if we had the opportunity to speak into reality what it is that we want to see, today is one of those best days to do that, to be totally intentional with your life force power and your energy and your projection abilities to be like, yo, I'm gonna speak life. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna speak health. I'm gonna speak a covering over the family this in Ohio. I'm gonna speak, what I'm saying, purity in the water. I'm gonna speak, what I'm saying, a cosmic cleansing that comes through, you know,
Right.
whatever needs to be done can be done. In the Piscean aspect, these are like miracles and things of that nature. You could speak on the wildest of dreams. You feel
Right.
me? So I wanted to speak about how to properly prompt a prayer. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, how to properly
Get
prompt a
into
prayer.
that. Yeah, we definitely want to get into that tonight, as a gift to our audience because of, the perfect timing of today's moon and the fact that, traditionally this platform in its many inceptions was always used to do what? To raise the vibrations, raise the frequencies. We did the 1111 portal, right?
Meditation.
Every single we did the meditation on Know the Ledge Radio every single Tuesday and Friday at 11:11. It did not, I don't care if we was in the middle of a sentence or a dissertation, everything stopped and we did our own Padme own prayers and our invocations and our affirmations. So tonight Blue Pill is going to pull up, well, he's here, and he's going to instruct us on how to properly prompt a prayer so we could do this shit correctly and get the results that we truly need and what we're looking for. One of the things that I could definitely say about the students, the KTLEans out there, is that we've been properly prepped and prepared for anything to take place this year. We only a month, 2 months into the 2023, and already we got UFOs, earthquakes. Oh, I'm sorry, UAPs, earthquakes, a whole lot of shit. You know what I mean? A whole lot of things. So, it's all good. It's gonna be a very interesting year ahead of us. But we are the fact that we here as a unit, the fact that we're tapped in, the fact that we're learning in real time, you know what I mean? And we know that this is the fingerprints of the great divine is all over things. We knowing that it is everything that is happening supposed to happen and was meant to happen. So yeah, Blue, let's tap into that powerful title right there.
Yeah, so you can just give them, because prompt is it might be the word of 2023 already. Can you just give them a backdrop real quick in terms of, you know, how prompt has popped up on the scene? What does it mean in regards to your studies?
Yes. Starting, of course, with this new year, this new fiscal year, we were introduced to new lexicons based off of the rise of AI. And some of those words that many of us are now familiar with that we might not have been familiar with a few weeks ago is prompting. Okay. Another one will be diffusion. Another one would be generative, right? Generative art, generative chat, right? These are called generative models, the new AIs that we see on the scene, like Stable Diffusion, Midjourney, Open AI, with Playground, with Chat GP3, and a few other of their tools. They are all functioning off of diffusion models and generative models. So it's called Gen AI. Um, Prompting, right, which is basically the lifeblood of the generative apps, because AI exists on many different levels, but we're mostly speaking about the generative AI, which is called Gen AI, right? And generative AI is basically the engine to it, or its lifeblood, is the prompt, right? The way that these models are built is based off of input output, which you see as IO at the end of, some of your websites is like da 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 dot IO. You're beginning to see that pop up a lot. It's input output, right? So the brains of this new generation of AI works off of a model, a reward and penalty model. Okay. It's a reward and penalty model. So the way that the computers were able to teach themselves was basically off of a model, which is called, what's the name of that? I always get tripped up when I come up with the name of this model, or the process that they're utilizing to create the results that many people are seeing that they don't understand, and like, oh, the computer is taking over and it's smart and it's da da da. No, it's called reinforcement training, right? So they're basically feeding, so the computer's learning how to win a game like chess or AlphaGo by actually losing the game. So the more times that it loses the game, the computer program doesn't get rewarded. So the program is going to do anything in its power to win the game so it could get rewarded and whatnot. And as it does that, it begins to get smarter and smarter and smarter. And as the computer programmers are programming it and they're feeding it information, they're going to feed it different prompts, right? Which will definitely, it would be like akin to asking God a question. Okay. So imagine if you had the opportunity to ask your higher power a question, right? Where do we see that at? Well, we see that in divination systems. One of the funniest things that I'm seeing is a lot of the TV shows are beginning to show, the hidden hand of African spirituality, right? With the streets, the Godfather of Harlem. This season, they're really heavily exploring the quote unquote a Cuban character and how he was utilizing Santeria, right, to make his decisions, right, to deal with, to make his, he was prompting the ancestors. In order to deal with Bumpy Johnson, he had to sit down and he had to prompt the quantum realm, the ancestor realm, his spirit guides and whatnot, his ancestors, to say, is this guy good for me? And then the spirit realm said, no, he's not. He's going to be a problem. And then he told Bumpy Johnson, you know what? I can't rock with you because I prompted the universe, or I prompted the spirit, the spirit realm. And they said that you know bueno, right? I was watching Vlad TV, and even that's is coming out on Vlad. You have drug dealers who you know were popping in the 80s and whatnot, down with Fat Cat and Pappy Mason, and they were talking about how they were going to get readings and whatnot. They were divining and things of that nature. So you know this art.
As of lately, on Say Cheese, I saw a clip on Say Cheese yesterday, and I saw another clip yesterday when the dude was talking about the Jamaican drug gangs and how they ran down in the crib, and he had the
Police
officer
officer.
glasses. Yeah, and then
Right,
the one cheese said they was running down to Chicago, and dudes was they had their altars set up like the La Muerte. You know, they was getting
right,
more than just work from the Migos. They was getting some of their practices.
right,
Yeah, so that's interesting.
right. Yeah, it's coming out a lot more so now than I've ever seen it. This was, you know, it used to be something that was unspoken of before. How, you know, a lot of people in the streets, right? A lot of people in that street life and whatnot were divinely protected. The majority of them, especially, I could point out the top countries where
Yeah,
cartels and things of that exist, but that's another conversation. I don't want to
yeah.
delve
Look,
too
like
deep into that
who
world.
said was Ghost and Tommy going to the Haitians in Jersey? I didn't follow the
Right.
whole of
I didn't, yeah. I'm not yeah, y'all gonna kill me, but I'm not a big power player. You feel me? I'm on the side with Big Meech and them. You know what I'm talking about? We throwing rocks at power. Book 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. I'm waiting for the Lucille and Charles love story to come out from 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Book one. Book one.
Oh man, I'll be stroking. So
But yeah,
yeah, so with that being said, and if anybody has participated, you know, in that format before, you notice that you can ask a question of the guide, and you may have to ask again, you know, and re-prepare your prompt. So it's the same thing, you know. Somebody posed a question to me. They said, "Well, what if our people are praying wrong? You
ugh,
know, what if we have not been getting the results that we are looking for, or that we expect because we feel that we've made the payment in blood, sweat, and tears, but then we're not receiving the reward or the results from the sacrifice, right? Maybe that we're it may be possible that we're engaging it in the wrong way."
right,
So when it was taught to me, you know, and it was simplified that a quote unquote a prayer is just a conversation, right? Whether you're having that conversation in your head or whether you're having it out loud, you know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily you getting on your knees, groveling and asking for something necessarily. And the universe, right, is grown. The universe can deal with you speaking somewhat a little demanding and forceful to it without being disrespectful. So
right.
the way that it was shared with me that we go about invoking things into quote unquote our reality during these periods of new moon periods, when there's, you know, when we're in darkness, and you're able to extract from the universe in triple darkness when birth takes place, when life is formulated, you know what I'm saying? That spark of light in the darkness now becomes your thought, becomes your prompt, becomes your invoking, right?
Your
Because,
invocation.
yeah, the power is in the word. Now, thoughts are things and words are worlds. So, is there a difference,
Yes.
right? There's a difference. But again, even with invoking, um, we write things down. Now I see
Right.
you just opened up a marker. You know, the practice of still writing things, family, is integral. to invoking or being intentional enough to actually write something down, you're putting your life force on that paper. You know, it's a lot more powerful than you typing something out. Um, I do not know how many people out there have parchment paper, but that's the best paper to use when one is writing down their invocations. If you don't have a piece of parchment paper, get you a piece of white paper or loose leaf. And if you don't
Right.
even have that, you can write on the back of a paper bag if you got one. You know what I'm
Right. It's
saying?
important to use a pencil, correct?
It's better to use a pencil because the lead, right? The lead is symbolic of quote unquote Saturn. It's dealing with Chronos, it's dealing with time cycles,
Yes.
is dealing with right in the tree or the paper is dealing with organic matter. So the tree also what represents the rings of time is represented by a tree on a tree trunk. They can tell how long the tree has been here based on the tree rings, right? So a tree is also a keeper of time. A
Right.
pencil is lead, is indicative. Lead is the element that is the element for the planet Saturn, right? So
Yes.
Saturn is also symbolic of quote unquote time cycles, not just time, because time is a figment of an imagination, but a time cycle, chronos, is tangible, identifiable. You feel me?
Yeah. Somebody was saying parchment. Parchment paper would be this type of paper that you have in your journals. Like if you have a journal or anything, this is like parchment paper. It's thick. It's like
Yes.
papyrus.
Right.
You
So I'm gonna share this with you. Don't run with this, family. It's recorded. Don't do this, y'all, please. So somebody said,
play with it.
yeah, they like they already heard that people was referring to AI as God. Well, we are in an inversion or a topsy turvy time. So
We are.
man is always going to project or play into this game of the antichrist during this time. So they said that God's name was what?
Yahweh.
The great I am,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
So
I am.
the I am initial is what?
IA.
Right.
IA.
So the inversion of that is what?
Ooh. AI.
There we go. So the way that you set this up is, you know, we want to start our invoking by utilizing the proclamation or the invocation of I, right? Because you're speaking for yourself, right? I, comma, whatever your name is, that's the am,
Yes.
right? You are the am. I can't speak for you. You got to fill in the blanks, whatever the I am. I, in this case, it would be Paul Eric Marlin, right? And
Right.
then now comes the action verb. There's different action verbs involved: easily, swiftly, quickly, strongly, firmly, right? To speak of a
Yeah.
few, you can fill in the blanks if you come up with any other ones. Okay. I, Paul Eric Marlin, swiftly invoke the, and whatever it is. Let's say the continuous success of Node Alleged Media, as specific as you can be without running on too long. And I'm not the one to tell you how long your prompt should exist. But even when you get up with the AI and you're prompting AI, which is an inferior modality of you speaking to your higher form and your higher self. So this invoking that you're doing on the universe is paying it forward. This is you paying it forward to yourself You just have to be intentional, clear, and concise in your command as to what you want from you.
That part. That part.
Okay. So we're going to write out 10 of those. Right. Again, I will give you an example of what it should sound like, and you can alter it however you so choose. This is just giving you a broad template. You feel me? You're free to remix, do as you so choose, do as you please. You are the God.
That's right. You are the God.
Okay.
God. Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm just going to use for an example, right? Speaking for myself, I, Paul Eric Marlin, strongly invoke the continuous success of Know the Ledge Media, streaming on Mondays and Thursdays.
Third Eye Thursdays, Melanin Monday, shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Bang, 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 bang.
Shit like that.
I could be more specific. I could be hyper specific and be like, for the year of, or until the year, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Your prompting, your programming, you feel me? And now it's fun because you can tangibly see that out of nowhere, you can garner results in the digital realm. So if a digital simulation of this can show you results instantaneously by way of a computer, which is a step down version of your quantum mind.
That's right.
Right? That quantum computer in between your ears is the illest one in the universe.
That's right.
You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Then you should be that even more confident when you are prompting and commanding the universe to hear your commands and to carry them out.
I got a few questions from the audience.
All right.
Passion wants to know, would it be safe to say that you set the intention as well?
That is setting the intention. Yes.
And like cool, I think he said, to add on to that prompt, I close it with how I feel about it.
That also works. Yes.
Like that.
You know, be nice with yourself. Shout out to our brother Tyreek. He was speaking about that even in respects to Chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? Saying thank you.
Right.
You know,
he was talking to it respectfully. Putting
respectful,
respect on the name.
because they continuously speak about ethics, the ethical treatment of AI.
Right.
So you want to also apply that to the ethical treatment of your higher self, the ethical treatment of your spirit guides, ethical treatment of God, right?
Cool.
You want to bring forth a firm command, if you will, but you also want to practice a level of humility to also say, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Fact.
yeah, pardon the tone, but you know what I'm saying? I want this. I could feel it. You know what I'm saying? And your
Right.
writing to reflect that you are that intentional, and you are that passionate, if you will,
Enthusiastic.
enthusiastic about manifesting that in which you call forth. You feel me? But let's not be commanding to a degree where it is expressive of our ego, like you put in the most high on the leash.
Right. Can't dog walk it.
Yeah, gratitude.
You have to show gratitude. Yeah, you have to show humility. Well, you have to show gratitude, and you have to pay a little bit of homage.
Right. So again, I'm not saying that the I am is not operable in a situation, but I want you again to be hyper specific. Don't be afraid to speak your name. You do have a name, and the universe knows that name. Don't get convoluted in the traffic jam of the I am. You know what I'm saying? Be more specific.
Right.
Yeah, let us not fall into dictatorship with technology or spirituality. You know what I'm saying? You are working with these things. You are working with these aspects, should I say. You know what I'm saying? You are working with these energies. Be respectful of such, especially if you're inviting something in. You feel me? Treat it like a house guest.
Facts.
So yeah, so people are writing, I am Victor. Say I, T Solomon, am easily victorious over all opposition. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? With no exceptions whatsoever.
Leave no, right. Move all obstacles with your word.
Be hyper specific and lock it all the way in. You know what I'm saying? Pin it from the beginning to the ending, you know? So yeah, I don't want to over drill it. There's 10 at least 10 things that you are enthusiastic about that you want to see manifest. Let me share this. We're coming out of the night of the soul, which is the 3 months of winter when we go into hibernation and darkness, because as children of the sun, as solar beings, we go through the hero journey that the sun goes through, right? And those 3 months are indicative to the 3 days that they say that quote unquote Jesus died, and they rolled the stone over, the entrance to the cave, and he was in the cave for 3 days, or he was quote unquote dead, the same 3 days that the sun dies and it's in darkness. And then it starts as ascension in the beginning of Capricorn, which is Saturn, which is lead, dealing with time, and it goes all the way to its loftiest station in Leo, right? Which is gold. So the trick of the alchemist is to turn lead into gold. That's a journey of the soul. But the soul being SOL, your soul, SOUL, is tied into that soul by way of your solar plexus in the journey that you go through. So we go through the day of darkness in those 3 months of Cap, which is Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So we're coming out of that darkness now, you know. Um, and I spoke today about the importance of getting a step on spring cleaning. Today I got up, I cleaned, I swept the leaves off of the porch, you know what I'm saying? And just brought a level of clarity and cleanness into the space to have a clearer thought, you know what I'm saying? To really eradicate the cobwebs that come with hibernation and darkness, you know what I'm saying, in the cold of winter, to prepare yourself for a new beginning and a new birth. We're going to be marching in to new beginnings, springing forth into springtime in a little while, right? March is right around the corner. So, in order to not fall into March madness, but to get into March gladness, because the light has coming through, the light that now comprehendeth the darkness that which had known it not. You got to prepare for that.
Factory.
Feel me?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, I put a phrase up. It came to me as a download, and I think we're gonna make this a shirt or something.
What's
Uh,
that?
Clear the clutter, clean the gutter. You know,
Clear the clutter.
clean the
Clean the.
gutters. Yeah,
I like that.
March gladness. Yeah, You know, we practicing March gladness. It's going into gratitude. You know, we're really
To this day.
March gladness.
To this day.
I like that.
yeah, we not buying into with the troglodytes or any of them are, you know, hold on. Yeah, we not doing that. We're not dancing to their drums of war. We're not buying into their campaigns of fear. Um, you know, we're not lowering and lessening ourselves. We're not waiting for the go. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing none of that. You feel me? So the
Staying
warriors,
focused.
the
Yeah,
warriors
we
of light,
staying.
yeah, the warriors of light really have to make declarations and proclamations. You feel me? To really prepare themselves, you know, for the victory that's promised. Like the Chiefs have won, but can they smell the roses? Are they even mindful enough that they got a victory to celebrate? And that's a euphemism for, once again, the indigenous people who will inherit the estate. What is the estate? The estate is any indigenous land that you exist on, right? The land underneath your feet that you are tied into by blood. That land now that they want to go ahead and poison because they would rather poison it than hand it back. But you got to repatriate that land. You have to know how to heal and repair that land. Same way that you got to learn how to heal and repair yourself and your family and your community. We got a lot of healing to do. If you sign up for this job, it's a vast job. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got one day to celebrate the victory, and you got to get right back to it. So it's no light order, but it's one hell of a reward. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful calling. So you got to take the bitter with the sweet at the end of the day. You got to have gratitude for good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. If this is your calling, it's a vast responsibility. It's magnanimous. You feel me? But I promise you, on some a quantum mania, you saving the universe, you saving the Marvel. You gonna end up saving the MCU.
To this day. To this day.
Scorpion Kang.
Yeah, little old
Shout
you,
out to my council of Kangs out there. Kang Dynasty.
little old you, little old you. Quantum size, microscopic, thinking that you small and insignificant, knowing that, not knowing that you the linchpin to hold together the whole universe. You, little you, yeah.
Find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious.
It was you the whole time.
It was you. It was you. You feel me?
Little Kang.
So, you know, make sure that you put that in your invocations if you have space. You know, affirm and see yourself stepping into your victory. See yourself. Why not? You know, we in Pisces. You could dream the biggest of dreams. The ocean is big enough to hold your dreams. It's deep enough for your dreams to go to the depths of it 100,000 million leagues. Don't shortchange yourself.
What?
You feel me? Go quantum on them.
Don't do it.
And then what is size, right? What is a giant to an ant? You feel me?
Can I read about the new moon today in Pisces?
Come on.
All right, now. Today's Pisces new moon is a powerful time to set intentions related to your spiritual practice, relationship dynamics, and emotional healing. This is a time to surrender to the natural flow and release any control issues that have been blocking your progress. It is also a time to focus on self-care and nurturing your needs. Enjoy the new moon energy and use it to create deeper meaning in life. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. You got more?
Ha! Yeah, that was it.
Oh, that was it. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's,
You know, we do shit condensed over here. Yeah.
it's enough. You know what I'm saying? Create your new life, create the new world, create the new earth. Yeah, they found 700 islands, family.
In
You know what I'm
Japan,
saying? One of those is yours. One of those
700.
is yours. You feel me? There's newfound land, there's unfound land, right? They say the ice wall is melting. They got a whole colony, a whole continent for you above, beyond the ice wall.
Beyond the ice wall.
Family, you lit. Don't be
Yeah.
small in your thinking, but be quantum. You know what I'm saying? So you can fit between every crack. There's nothing that could hold you back. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna add on a little bit to the new moon. The
Yeah.
Pisces new moon, this one that we're in right now,
Yeah.
is associated with the themes of healing, compassion, and self-reflection. It is a time to focus on your spiritual and emotional well-being and to be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. New beginnings are possible, and this is a great time to start out fresh. Focus on your dreams, your hopes, your feelings, and your creative pursuits. Let go of any fears, any blocks, and any doubts. And remember that you are capable of anything. Embrace the beauty that each new day brings to this day.
To this day. To this day.
It's a time to watch your sensations within, letting them pass instead of reaching for them. This non reaction is the heart of mindfulness meditation, which starts by observing the feelings in each area of the body. Okay, that's a practice. But yeah,
Yeah, you were speaking about um preparatory rituals, before people jump on the computer, early morning rising regimens. If you want to share some of that, you know what I'm saying? Because this is a perfect time once again as we are coming out of the frost, getting into the spring, things are warming up a little. People would be more apt to get up early and go outside. You know what I
right,
mean? It's key, it's integral to your vessel, to your being, to your consciousness, to your sensibilities, to your
right.
stability.
Okay, so now if you out there listen to this, I'm not taking no shots at nobody's personal regimens, right? But if you are self-employed and you waking up at noon in 2023, especially going into March, you're bugging. Not only are you throwing your whole day away, you won't be able to compete, my nigga. I don't care if you're selling fentanyl on lollipops, nigga. You're not gonna keep up with the people that's keeping up. Okay. You gotta change. It has to start with that. The regiment of your early rising has to change. I mean, I'm gonna go extreme right now, but I would say if you really want to get to this shit, 4 a.m. Okay, I'm that's the extremities of the extreme. Between 4 and 6, of course. If that's not good for you, try between 7 and 9. You know what I mean? But definitely nothing after 9.
Mm-mm.
You want to, if you live in a big city and you don't have grass, if you don't have soil, if you don't have dirt, you might want to go to the park like the white people do, right? When they go jogging and whatnot, and they're all in Central Park and they're in the places where you're not, right? They tend to be surrounded by trees. They tend to be surrounded by grass. They tend to be a body of water somewhere around them when they're jogging or doing what it is that you say that they're doing that you don't do, right? You might want to get on your bike and whatnot and take yourself into nature. Forest bathe if you have forest around you. Jungle bathe if you have a jungle around you. If you live near an ocean, get in the ocean and charge up with the negative ions and in the negative ionosphere. And in that regards, negative is a positive when we're talking about the ions in the ionosphere. All military personnel wakes up at 4 a.m. and we are definitely in the war, Lenny. God damn it. You could sleep at noon in peace times, niggas. But there's a war going on outside. So it's gonna, and we're talking about a war of the minds. We're referring to the mental and also the spiritual war. So yes, if I had it my way, we would all be getting up at 4 a.m. Who got the 4 a.m. podcast? Because niggas talk that shit, but who got the 4 a.m. podcast? I know they got some shit at 7 a.m. I did upload the 44 income streams to KTL University. If you were one of the registers, just check your email, go in your spam folder, but you definitely got an email to say that it's available for you. That been up. That's right, Jefferson. Spiritual war veterans. That's right. Imagine waking up in the Ukraine at noon. Ooh. You missed a few buildings getting shelled and whatnot. Around 8 a.m., the Russians struck. But then they also swooped in at 5 a.m. and knocked off all of the top dogs, right? E.T., the hip-hop preacher, he's on 4 a.m. I was saying before that
I think like at 6, but shout out to E.T.
If you on the West Coast, I don't think that you're doing it properly because y'all have an advantage that y'all don't be taking advantage of. Because at your 6 8, I be waking up early and I can't even call some of you Negroes on the West Coast because I know you in La La Land. Think about it, right, Destiny? This 3 a.m. LA is the 6 a.m. New York wake up show. You could drink your St. Ides at 6 a.m. and still be lit, my geniuses, and go to bed then.
They want to be lit. You want to be lit on the West, though. You understand?
I know.
They got to put on for gang, and they know they're going to be up by themselves. You're going to catch the people coming back from the club on West Hollywood.
I'm just saying the 3 a.m. LA broadcast is touching us at 6, right?
Yeah.
That's your morning show. If you're on the West Coast, you just got to tap into the East Coast niggas.
And by 9 a.m. LA time, which is noon, on the East Coast, it'll be viral and lit.
You be viral and lit.
Yeah, they people are still catching on a replay.
I'm just throwing that out there for anybody because the morning shows or the ride, that's what that's another, yeah. So 4:44 a.m. broadcast show. I'm gonna see if me and Blue could pull this shit off. I'm gonna talk to my Brody. Yeah, we gonna have to. Yeah, we gonna see what we built like. But if I could at least get 100 of y'all in the building, why not? We would be monsters collectively. We would be stout. You know what I mean? We would definitely be stout. We have my forex running to play at 7 a.m.
I really want to bring the meditation back.
But anyway, a good early rising, some grounding in the quote unquote dirt, barefoot, even though you may have morning dew and whatnot. Hey, who cares?
Soak it
Get
up.
your feet wet.
It's
only morning dew, right? They say that's the best water anyway, right? So you do some grounding and whatnot. If the sun is not out, you do some internal breathing and whatnot. You know what I mean? You do a little bit of meditation. When you're doing all of these things, keep in mind, this is your exercise or this is your prep. This is how you prep yourself before you get in front of this machine and whatnot, or what we call the black mirror, or what we would identify as a computer. Because now that we live in the era of prompting, right, to whereas ideas are forming in the mind and they're manifesting in the real world, you can manifest now a multi-billion-dollar idea, but your mind got to be right, right? You're not going to be able to manifest if your mind is not right. You're not going to be able to tap into all of the quote unquote, you're not going to be able to hack the AI if you already been hacked by the spirits. You feel me? By the incubuses and the succubuses and the spells that are on you. People are getting hacked. They getting their systems hacked and they don't even realize it by playing around on social media and in places where you have no business. They're hacking into your quote unquote body or your brain for that matter. These are entities I'm talking about.
Yo, can you
So
hear
you
me?
want to reverse that curse and you want to get right. And when you get in front of the computer, you want your mind to be right. So when you're able to prompt the program and whatnot, what can you draw from it? The best thing that it has to offer you. And that would be the best results based off of the best questions or the best prompts that you give it.
Can you hear
So
me?
stretching, I can't hear you, Blue Pill. You doing this to me
You
again?
can't hear me.
You doing
All
this
right,
to
let me
me
leave a comment.
again? And we're going to have some practices or some practitioners for that matter that will be making their debut on this show and coming through because we promised y'all that that's what we're going to do in this new cycle. Oh, you can hear Blue? I didn't hear him. I don't know what's going on. But we're going to be bringing some brothers and sisters through, even some veterans to the platform to help our brothers and sisters that have been hacked, because it happens to the best of us. You feel me? We're going to bring some people through to help clean you up. It's not going to happen overnight though. And it definitely won't happen from somebody just talking to you. We're going to have to be very adamant about our upgrades. Okay? Let me bring Blue in. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
What's going on here? Hold on. I can't hear Blue.
You still
Hello?
can't hear me? You
Check. That's you?
can you hear me?
I hear you now. I had to change the speaker to my Mac speaker.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm back in the building.
Allegedly.
Yeah, they can hear us. Continue.
Yeah, okay, we good. Hold on. So I was sharing with them before you came back in that we're gonna work on helping people who've been hacked as we move forward and whatnot.
Oh, so that why they was talking about the Neuralink malware.
The Neuralink
Yep.
malware, what's going on? They got bugs in it?
Yes, they got malware. They got bad malware in the brain interface technology already. So
Don't
this
say
is
that.
just a precursor. It's just a precursor, right? They're once again they're being intentional, using new moon energy to project, show you what they're gonna be on. Yeah, we're gonna have malware. Yeah, then it came out. It's like 3 things came out about Neuralink in the last few days, and it's not even out yet. Yeah, we're using monkeys and doing X, Y, and Z. Yeah, we got a computer, we got a program dealing with mind control. Yeah,
Right.
all this stuff. But yeah, yeah, people are definitely dealing with aspects of being hacked, malware. Once again, from being possibly going down these portals, not knowing who's on the other side of that screen. You know what I'm saying? Saying shit online and not knowing who you hitting on the other side. Like, yeah, it's a lot that comes with, playing in the dark. You know what I'm saying?
I think that
So
a lot of people
like,
been practicing.
uh,
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay. I think that there's been some cases of individuals who may have been, experimenting with
Peace God.
controlled substances, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it opened them up, right? Like when I don't know if anybody, when you try mushrooms, right? The magic mushrooms, there's a level of you that opens up. There's a layer that opens up. You become vulnerable because you begin to feel things that you haven't felt before. If you interface with anything digital, it affects you differently.
Yeah. You're more receptive because your sentience is now dealing with a a different level. Like you're ethereal sentient, right? You're
Right.
sentient dealing with your immersion into different spectrums or different dimensions per se. So you looking at TV and being affected by that light, right? The
The
light of
blue
the
light.
yeah.
There you go. The blue light. It will mess you up if you get in front of it and you're exposed
Right. Look, somebody
after.
said it's hard to go Instagram. Bro, being on your timeline when you
Oh my
home.
goodness. I went on the gram on some golden teachers. Family.
Oh no.
I almost short circuited. I had to
Don't do
I had
that.
it. First of all, it helped me see through a lot of shit though. Let me just say that. I was able to see a lot of fake shit that I wasn't necessarily privy to seeing when I wasn't on that situation, right? That's one thing. But the negativity or the low vibrations was just seeping off of that screen and infecting me every single time I looked at the screen. It was not a good feeling. So I had to back up off the phone and lay on the floor for a minute to ground myself.
Mm.
But me and two other people who were also on that shroom trip, we was on Instagram having the time of our life looking at all of the goofiness and the goofy niggas that are out there because you just can't hide it. You know what I mean? Like it's revealed to you. And I was like, damn, bro, I be, you know what I mean? Like shit. I don't even be realizing this. But
Mm.
not a good, yeah, not a good combination at all. Lord forbid
Mm.
if you go to World Star. That's what
Whew.
people be like, oh, I had a bad trip. No, you went to the prom without taking a shower. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, your
Niggas be talking
set
about
and
they
your
have bad
setting.
trips, but they forget to mention that you try to put a white suit on after you cut the lawn and was slapboxing your neighbor for 3 hours. You feel me? Like that's not how it works. So when you go on these trips, you got to make sure the same way the Blue was talking about decluttering the house and cleaning, spring cleaning and whatnot, getting your temple right. You got to make sure your temple and your mental is right before you go on these trips and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? You can't be dirty and not expect to smell.
Yeah, set and setting is everything,
Right.
you know. And we're losing the instructions initially. Like you said, it's recreational, it's been abused, it's been overindulged. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, as a people, unfortunately, they say we have addictive personalities, you know. and it shows. You
Right.
feel? But let's get addicted to meditation. Let's get addicted to being
Oh,
intentionally.
we at 11:11, Blue. Let's do it.
Okay. Let's just be still. Like, get into your meditative state.
Check, 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 check. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We're going to slowly return and come back from that meditative state. First and foremost, I just want to give thanks to everybody in the building collectively who's participating in this moment in time. You know, I definitely want to say Ashe, love and light to everybody in the building. And I'm invoking that this moon and the power of this moon is going to do for every single one of us what it's intended to do. Okay, so yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Going back.
That definitely
Yeah, that was the
what
right
need
time. That was the timing was right on that.
it just caught me like out of time because I wanted to help with some instructions and preparation, but it was cool. We got into it. It was needed. It was necessary because it's really about, just helping people, instruct them to use breathing to slow down their thoughts. And that really comes with, that calculated breathing, that meditated, that abdominal breath, pulling from your stomach
Yes.
and just slowing down your exhale, controlling your exhale. You slowing it down, it's going to slow your heart rate down, it's going to slow your thoughts down. And this really allows you to just fall into yourself and just get into whatever needs to be gotten into. And I'm not one to believe necessarily that meditation is about making your mind stop thinking.
Yes.
That may be a end result of it. You know what I'm saying? Once you get into what you're getting into for a protracted amount of time. But initially, sometimes it's slowing your mind down long enough to hear for your real thoughts to come to the forefront. You don't want to ignore them. You want to see them. You want to hear them. You want to feel them. You want to taste them. You want to observe them. You know what I'm saying? I used to get in meditative thoughts and remember the stuff that I had forgotten that I suppose I had done. And then once I got past that, then you really get to the back room of your mind where things are peaceful and you can sit down in the corner and just chill. So I would love to start doing that at 4:44, getting back into early rising meditations, a little bit of exercise. And then we could kick it. You got to get the mind prepared to go through, what I'm saying, the bouts of breaking stuff down, digestion, if you will. You got to drink your water before you eat your food in the morning, 32 ounces of warm water to help the digestion going before you start eating solid food. It's the same thing with inflammation.
Right.
And I wouldn't put syncopated beats on either. I would make sure it was more, without a drum pattern per se.
Right.
It forces the mind to follow the beat. You know what I'm saying? So something is neural, or like forest sounds, rain sounds, things that are not patternized.
Things that are right.
Quantized, I think they call it.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But that was a beautiful, not to take anything from it. It definitely worked.
Yeah, YouTube got these they got beats on StreamYard, so I just was like, I seen the background music. I'm like, let's get in the mood, get a little bit of sound so it's not complete silence and whatnot, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna bring the Om Padme Om and a little bit of binaural beats to the table. I just gotta make sure that they royalty free, so they don't be out here trying to play with me.
Yeah, we're gonna get that in. And like I said, more so maybe meditation workshops, because we don't want to just take for granted that everybody does know how to meditate. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I feel that people may be appreciative of being able to use that. But let me just get my schedule in together, and that those early rising regimens is right on time. To be ahead of the game.
Are you saying that you accepting the 4:4 a.m. challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah, talk that shit, Charles. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Somebody said, what about listening to whales? Okay, you do that? I heard they make music. I haven't necessarily. I listen to dolphins, but I'm not tapped in with the whales yet.
Other they making music in Avatar?
Yeah, they was blowing them trumpets. They was making beats. Yeah. You was listening to orcas last night? Fire.
I did see some footage on that. I just didn't tap on it, but they did they had some footage up about it was a pool of orcas making music. I was like, after they killed the great white, that's what's up.
Ah, 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 ah. Somebody wants to know, do you burn the parchment paper afterwards?
You don't have to. It's
Yeah.
not necessary to. But the thing is to walk away from it and to not return to it. Like you don't read it again. You don't go back to it. You write it and it's done. So you can discard of it if that's what you feel in your heart,
Right.
because technically you're supposed to walk away and then
Look,
let that rest.
they said I'm gonna catch the replay of the meditation. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Nah, I'm gonna be right there, fam. I'm gonna be right there, fam. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man. You know, I really want to say thank you for that meditation and just helping the family with their prompts, how to prompt their prayers so we could get this shit correct. But
Yeah, I gotta
yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. You know, we're not gonna be here for too long.
some work to do.
Yeah, so much work to do. You know, I'm amazed how I'm even able to do these shows with all of this work in front of me. But it's definitely back to the work. You know what I mean? I got to get back to it. Real quick, a lot of shit going on in this week coming up. Once again, we have a workshop, a course coming up at the end of the month. 40 AIs in a mule. That's crazy. That's gonna be crazy. Shout out to the brother 19 Keys. I have an episode on high level conversations. This a must see. It just came out on Saturday. Dealing with artificial intelligence, the AI wars. Make sure you go ahead and check that out and share that. You know what I'm saying? All of that fly ish. What else? Patreon. Shout out to all of my Patreons. We doing it real big over there. It's a lot of information on the Patreon for anybody trying to get anything dealing with AI, any type of information, apps, free apps, you know, tools and whatnot, articles, you name it, YouTube videos, everything is on Patreon. Pull up, become a member. We got perks over there. You know what I'm talking about? We got perks over there. And I ain't talking about Percocets. You know what I mean? We taking care of our people over there. We hooking them up. And what else? There's something that I'm forgetting. But when I do remember it, I'll let you know. But yeah, for that's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. What you want to leave them with, Blue?
Yeah, I want to leave them with once again appreciation and gratitude. Thank you for taking time, tapping in for this information for your personal edification and upgrade. Utilize it, turn the knowledge into wisdom by activating it. Actually challenge yourself to get some of these things done so you can reap the results of it. They said faith without deeds is empty. You feel me?
Empty.
Yeah, you gotta put in that work.
That's a fact. You got work to put in, brothers.
Yeah, I can hand you the M80. You gotta light it and throw it.
I did a giveaway today, and I don't want to leave my KTLians out of it as well. Here's my email. I know y'all kind of lazy on that. I was trying to figure out a better way to do it, but the email is right here on the ticker, the Mark 125th. I'm giving away a free PDF master prompts. So we were talking about prompting tonight. I'm gonna give away a Chat GPT master prompt course, right? So if there's anybody in the audience out there that want to tap in with the master course, or it's not really a master course, but it's a guide, it's a master guide on how to be a master at prompting. They're paying, I just saw a job detail. They're paying $300,000 for prompting, right? If you know how to prompt, go and check it out. Don't go on Indeed, but go and check it out. They're paying up to $300,000 a year if you know how to prompt. So the guide that I'm dropping for free for anybody that sends their email to the Mark 125th, that's what you're gonna get free. If you sign up to Patreon, you're also gonna get that, and you're gonna get access when you go in that room to about 50 to 60 pieces of information that I've been dripping over there since January. Okay. Yeah, the prompting playbook, right? I got you. Anybody that want to tap in, I got you. This is about getting us all edified so we could take over and do what we need to do. Spring is around the corner. We want to pop out. Yes, the replay for the 44 income streams, that's available on KTLUniversity.com. If you if you signed up and left your email, then you have access to it. Allah, what's good with you, God body? If you sent your email to RSVP for the free masterclass, then check your spam folder, because we sent out an email to say that the replay is available. I think it's like 5 hours. Yeah, New Kings County merch at Star Status Store at the New Black Wall Street in Stonecrest. It's in Georgia, right outside of Atlanta. 15% off for all of my Patreon members. 15% off to all of my Patreon members. Go and follow the store on Instagram and take advantage of being a Patreon member and go get you some of that cosmic drip. We dripping over there. It's almost a flood. Call Noah. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's big drip over there. New merch at Star Status. Check us out. And with that being said, I want to leave y'all in peace, love, and light. Once again, there's a lot of distractions outside. You know, entertain what you may, but entertain it from the vantage point of a observer. Don't take none of this shit personal. You know what I'm talking about? The aliens are not coming for you. if there is an invasion taking place, your black ass don't got nothing to worry about. You know what I'm talking about? Keep on working on your body. Keep on working on your God body. Keep on working on your God code and whatnot, and keep on leveling up, because times are changing, but only for the better. You dig? Times are changing, but only for the better. You feel me? This is yeah. Shout out. Who went? Did you see the movie this week in Blue Pill? Did you see the Ant-Man Quantumania? Talk black to me.
Of course I did.
We're gonna need KT to come and make a debut on Melanin Monday. I don't know if it's been a while since he's been. Let's just say that. But yeah, I belong to the Council of Kang. I'm a Scorpion Kang right now. You know what I'm talking about? We have entered into the Scorpion Kang era.
Can you turn that music down?
Oh, what is loud?
Now I want to share something with the family, like, because I be getting these downloads. They come like at night when I finish observing, you know, and then I lay down in my mind. Sometimes it can't rest because it be so much going on,
processing shit.
Yeah, but then I got a big homie. Like I prompt, I'll send a prompt up to my higher mind, and then it downloads rhyme. I prompt my higher mind, and it responds in rhyme. So my chat GPT is poet. You know what I'm saying? I got a poetic chat GPT.
That's
So
what's up.
This what it told me that it wanted me to share.
Okay.
It said, don't look up, don't look in your rear, look ahead and overcome your fears. The existential threat is not from afar, it's not from the stars, it's not from Allah. It's from the scars and the wounds unattended to that have rendered you a fraud. Using words that are like I love you, but not doing the work to seal the scars to get the W or close the wounds and heal the scabs. You can't give what you don't have. That leads to trouble. If your cup don't runneth over, you're taken from the source you need to achieve closure and doing more harm than good to your own soma, that's body. That will lead you to ultimately being runneth over and spit out like Jonah with no opportunity for a do-over, treated like a pushover, hands out looking for hands out for what's owed you, but your bills are overdue and no one is consoling you, extolling you. Unfortunately, a false sense of being was controlling you. They ain't even say thank you. Just yanked you to the other side in this tug of war. Loving more, you give underscore your kids, rubber off, they slid, your butter sore, state bids. You got to do for self and use your help to help you first before you disperse jewels of wealth to help anybody else.
To this day. To this day.
I ain't want the beats behind that, my nigga.
You're about to see who's your real fam. For real, fam. You're about to see who's your real fam. Oscar the Grouch in the steel can get popped in your mouth.
Bars. Should have did that on that lo-fi beat. Come on now. Hold on. Let me get you lit. Hold on. Bring that shit back. Hold on. Let me get the lo-fi beat. You know what I'm talking about? Bringing back more Fire Fridays.
Facts. We gotta bring back more Fire Fridays.
They go to lo-fi.
Yeah.
That's chicleta talk right there. That's sandals talk.
Yeah. Don't look up. Don't look in the rear. Look ahead and overcome your fears. That existential threat is not from afar, not from the stars, and it's not from Allah. From the stars and the wounds unattended to that have rendered you a fraud. Use your words like I love you, but not doing the work to heal the scars to get the W, or close the wounds and heal the scab. You can't give what you don't have, at least for trouble. If your cup don't run us over, you're taking from the source you need to get through closure and doing more harm than good to your own sober. That will lead you to ultimately run us over and spit out like Jonah with no opportunity for a do-over, treated like a pushover, hands out looking for a handout for what's owed you, but your bills are overdue. No one is controlling you, extolling you. Unfortunately, a false sense of being was controlling you. They ain't even say thank you. Just yank you to the other side in this tug of war. Loving more, you give underscore your kids, rubber off, they slid. Your butter sore, stay bids. You gotta do for self and use your help to help you first before you disperse jewels of wealth to help anybody else.
Hey. Look. If y'all like that poetry, then you're gonna love this right here. Yeah, the sound wasn't that good. You know what I'm talking about?
It's all good.
Y'all get the point. I'm gonna drop a link right now. This is for the SoundCloud playlist, right? If you want to hear that cloth talk from Blue on the playlist, there is the twin album, but with me and Blue Pill. You'll see it on the list. We got 100-something songs, but you'll see the twin album with me and Blue on the cover. Go and play everything that says Blue Pill on that playlist from the twin album, and that's all poetry. You feel me? That's heavy poetry. That I don't even know if y'all all heard it. Niggas slept on that. But yeah, go and check that out. That's the list that I just dropped in there. That's called a God Hop playlist for 2023. We update it every Friday. Huh?
Said RZA got a dope meditation EP on Spotify. I got to check that out.
RZA Islam,
Nah.
Bobby Diggs, my nigga Bobby Diggs, Bobby Digital.
Yo, somebody said blue kind of buns with the ball.
How come Twin isn't on Apple? Who said it wasn't on Apple?
It's
on Apple.
Is it?
I think it may be on Apple. It's just hard to find.
It's on the Twin Pillars.
Yeah, you got to look under Twin Pillars.
Turn that beat off.
Twin the album. It's just it's not easy finding that shit.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna be remastered and turn that beat off, please.
Yeah.
Turn that beat off, son. Rock Marshy wouldn't rock to that. How you talking about? Thought you was bringing in some. What is that? A Patreon plugin?
Nigga, I ain't the Alchemist.
Yeah, we gotta get that on Apple. If it's not, I gotta get it remastered and touched up. Speaking of my Alchemist, I got a lot of Alchemist beats on there.
Yeah, go to Bandcamp. That's where you'll find it.
It's definitely on Bandcamp. It's definitely on. It's another one. Well, I'm missing. Yeah, I'll be getting
right.
What's the other site that it's on?
Twin album is on YouTube. Oh shit, I didn't even know that. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube. It's on Bandcamp.
So he said that's a King Simon type beat.
Yeah, it's on Tidal and YouTube. It's out there. We just gotta, like you said, it's gonna be remastered. We're gonna pull the vinyl and the cassette. You'll have a red cassette and a blue cassette, a red album and a blue album. That's 22 songs that we put out. And we talk about this new project too. We getting around, you know, it's almost music time. But yeah, I'm out of here though. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm gonna get back to writing.
That part. Family, I want to say thank you for pulling up. You know what I mean? We enjoyed ourselves over these 2 hours. You dig? Once again, Third Eye Thursdays, we got some SoundCloud. Yeah. We on SoundCloud. Matter of fact, the Bandcamp and the SoundCloud, those is to me, those are my best repositories because they got the classics 10 years ago type shit. They got the I go on SoundCloud and vibe out sometimes. But yeah, Red Pillar on SoundCloud, you'll find a lot of hidden jewels and gems. Cool, we got to get you on the show. We already know we're gonna be doing a lot of private Patreon shows with especially when we talking that tech talk and some other things. We're gonna be moving over to do those shows on Patreon. So once again, to the family out there, definitely sign up.
We got some podcast classics coming for y'all.
We got some classic podcasts that we already filmed. That's on its way. That's gonna shake the internet up a little something. Yeah. So we working. You know what I'm talking about? We definitely working, and we putting out good information that will help you elevate and never imitate. You know what I'm talking about? Just level up, not devil up. And with that being said, y'all, I wish I could leave y'all with the song, but that part. Peace, love, and light. All right. 1.